Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. We'll be starting our regularly scheduled December 4th council meeting momentarily. Before we do, we have 5 ordinances that were read into the record on a first reading at the previous council meeting in November. So we will be conducting public hearings on these 5 ordinances. So what I will do is I will read the header for each ordinance, and then I will call upon the audience at large. If anybody this evening is in the audience who wishes to speak upon these ordinances, please be recognized. Do I have any pre-filled forms, Mr. Amatori? Okay. So the first public hearing is going to be in Ordinance 1130 concerning approving Budget Amendment 2024-05 to fund the Route 155 Waterline Bridge Inspection and Wastewater Treatment Plant Grit Tank. This is an ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace by the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government of the article of the Annotated Code of Maryland and Sections 37 of the Havre de Grace City Charter for the purpose of amending the city budget for the fiscal year 2024 to address reallocations of funds for the city of Havre de Grace for fiscal year 2024. Is there anybody in the audience here this evening here to speak on Ordinance 1130 for public hearing? Is there comments on the council on this ordinance at the moment? Okay, without any members from the public speaking, I will open and close public hearing on Ordinance 1130. Sorry. The time is 7:03. Okay, the next public hearing. This is going to be a public hearing on Ordinance 1131. Concerning accepting a deed of dedication for property between Bully Rock Circle and Scenic Manor. It's an ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, and City Charter Sections 33, 34, 65, 66, and 73, concerning acquisitions of .202 acres, more or less, and acceptance of deed of dedication regarding real property located between the Bully Rock Circle and Chapel Road and Scenic Manor. Is there anybody in the audience this evening who is here to speak on Ordinance 1131? Any comments from the council members? Okay. Without any comments from the public or the council, I will now open and close Ordinance 1131 public hearing. The time is 7:04. Public hearing on Ordinance 1132 concerning amending Sections 205-13 zoning definitions. An ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, Sections 33 and 34 of the Havre de Grace City Charter, to amend Sections 205-13, which is zoning definitions. Is there anybody in the audience here this evening to speak on Ordinance 1132? Comments from the council? Okay. We will open and close Ordinance 1132. The time is now 7:05. Public hearing, Ordinance 1133. Concerning amending Chapter 2, Adequate Public Facilities, and Chapter 198, Water and Sewers. An ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, and Sections 33 and 34 of the Havre de Grace City Charter, to amend Chapter 2, Adequate Public Facilities, and Chapter 198, Water and Sewers of the City Code. Are there members in the audience this evening who are here to speak on 1133, Ordinance 1133? Are there comments from the council members? Councilmember Boyer.
I just want to again say that I'm going to be offering an amendment to this to protect our historic downtown area. I completely support the fire company for having an electric sign up on Chapel Road. I think that's a great use of the space. I just want to make sure that we protect our downtown area from having electric signs specifically right next to historic properties. I think that would be an unwise use of the space. So I'll be putting that together. I have a historic district map. That was one of the suggestions, to make it look at the historic district map locations for the city of Havre de Grace. So just to let you all know where we're going with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, I will now close public hearing on ordinance 1133. The time is 7:07. Next public hearing, and our final public hearing, is going to be on ordinance 1133 concerning amending portions of the city code, chapter 151, regarding electronic signs. An ordinance by the mayor and city council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, local government and land use articles of the annotated code of Maryland, and sections 33 and 34 of the Havre de Grace City Charter to amend portions of the city code, chapter 154, regarding electronic signs. Is any member in the audience here this evening to speak on ordinance 1134? Any comments from the council?
Yes, I'm sorry. I meant for the last comments to be about this one. I'm a little distracted. But yes, I'll be putting together an amendment to go in. And thank you all very much for your support on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? Okay, without any further questions or comments, the time is 7:08. We will close public hearing on ordinance 1134. See, everybody, that wasn't so bad, was it? You probably saw the whole first page was daunting. Everybody ready for the council meeting? Okay, here we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The date is December 4th, 2023. The time is now 7:09 p.m. I call to order a meeting of the Havre de Grace Mayor and City Council. I will call the roll. Piece of paper, everybody's names on it. Council President Ringsacker.
Here.
Councilmember Robertson.
Here.
Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Boyer.
Here.
Councilmember Snegas.
Here.
And Councilmember Boger. All council members are present and accounted for. If everybody could please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance and opening prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If I could kindly ask everyone to remain standing, it gives me great honor this evening to call forward for an opening prayer a good friend of mine, Rabbi Mika Simmerly from Temple Ada Shalom. Rabbi.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor Martin, and all City of Havre de Grace dignitaries present here this evening. I am Rabbi Mika Simmerly. I serve Temple Ada Shalom, previously known as Harford County Jewish Center. On behalf of my husband Dave, members of our temple who are present here, and myself, we're all so honored and grateful to be here again with you this year, just before the holiday of Hanukkah begins this Thursday. This evening, I will focus on dedicating this prayer as a message for light and hope. God, we pray that your light shine brighter, and may the voices of those most silenced be heard loud and clear. We pray for wisdom, for strength and courage to do what is right and good for all citizens. May we put the interests of others above our own. May we act with love for the common good. May we be good neighbors, recognizing God's image in every single human being. As war is ravaging parts of Israel, my homeland, and taking the lives of so many innocent people, tonight I am also dedicating this prayer for lasting peace in the Middle East. God of mercy and compassion, God of grace and reconciliation, pour your power and light upon all your children who live in the Middle East, Jews, Muslims, and Christians, Palestinians, Israelis, and other nations and faiths who reside in that aching region. Let hatred be turned into love, fear into trust, despair into hope, and that violent encounters shall be replaced by loving embraces. We thank you, God, for this council, our mayor, our city staff, or our first responders, and all those who work to make the city of Havre de Grace such a wonderful place to live in. This we pray in the name of all that we hold dear, good, right, and true. May God make it so, as we all say together, Amen.
Amen. Rabbi Simile, thank you so much, and I look forward to lighting the menorah with you later on in the council meeting. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, we will go to item number 5. Approval of the minutes of the City Council meeting of November 20th, 2023. Council, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion by Councilmember Boker and a seconded by Councilmember Shenagus. Questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. City Council meeting minutes of November 20th, 2023 carry 6-0 in the affirmative. Item B, City Council closed session meeting minutes of November 20th, 2023, in which no votes were taken. Motion to approve? Second. A motion by Councilmember Jones and seconded by the Council President. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to approve closed session meeting minutes of November 20th, 2023 are carried 6-0 in the affirmative. We're going to go to item number 6 on this evening's agenda. Item number 6 is comments from citizens. This is the part of the agenda that if you wish to comment on something that is on the agenda for this evening, now's the time to do so. It's also the time of the meeting, if you wish to comment on any other matter of city business, this is the time to do so as well. So there's no other public comment part tonight. So if there's something you want to say, raise your hand and be recognized. Okay, any comments from council?
Moving right along.
I'm moving right along. That usually lasts a while. Sometimes hours. Okay. Okay, that's a first. All right. Very, very good. I think everybody wants to get to the heart of tonight's meeting. Item 7 is appointments. We have a reappointment and a new appointment. And so the reappointment is for the Arts Commission, and I will hand that to Councilmember Jones.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that we reappoint Luann Swam to the Arts Commission.
Second?
I have a motion by Councilmember Jones, seconded by Councilmember Boyer. This is for the reappointment of Ms. Luann Swam to the Havre de Grace Arts Commission. Questions or comments? Yes, ma'am.
Luann Swam has been a wonderful addition to the Arts Commission. Since 2019, when I was a part of the Arts Commission, she was always very helpful, very insightful, and brought many wonderful opportunities to our community. She's a quiet and gentle spirit, but worked hard and dedicated her time to making the Arts Commission go forward. I highly recommend her for this reappointment.
Well said.
Thank you very much. Excuse me. What's in this water? Okay, thank you, Councilmember Shenagus. Any other questions or comments? I'm okay. I'm sorry. Just, you know how it is drinking water.
Really choked up about Luann.
It was.
She's so special.
It was a very nice thing you said about Luann. Thank you. Without any further questions or comments, we're going to go to a vote on Ms. Swam. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The reappointment of Ms. Luann Swam is approved, 6-0 in the affirmative. Item number 2, we have a brand-new appointment to the Arts Commission as well. And Councilmember Jones.
Great, thank you, Mayor. I move that we appoint Lindsay Jones to the Arts Commission.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Jones, seconded by Councilmember Boger. Oh, man. And questions or comments on Ms. Lindsay Jones? Councilmember Boger.
No, just one. I personally know Miss Lindsay Jones. I think a lot of us up here and in the audience do. She's a stout go-getter, a volunteer. She's quintessential in some of the many things that we do, like the lighted boat parade and things of that nature. I think she's a perfect fit for the Arts Commission. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Boger. Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Shenanigans.
Miss Lindsay Jones has come to our city. She's a longtime resident, and she volunteers in many positions. And I think the Arts Commission is a great fit for her, as she is very eclectic in the way she thinks, and she's open-minded, and she's helpful in making sure that our city does very well in all the events that she has her hands involved in. So I recommend Lindsay Jones for this appointment.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Shenanigans. Any other questions or comments on Ms. Jones? A vote on Ms. Jones for the Havre Arts Commission. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. The appointment of Ms. Lindsay Jones to the Havre Grace Arts Commission is approved, 6-0 in the affirmative. At this time, I'm going to step down and go into the well, and I'm going to ask if Ms. Jones can join me and take the oath for the commission. Would you like to join me also, since it's your commission? Thank you. Well, Lindsay, congratulations. Finding the time in your schedule to do something else for us. So I'm going to have you stand like closer to the microphone so you can pick it up.
Okay.
So Lindsay, I'm going to say the word I, and when I say the word I, please repeat the word I, but also say your name.
Okay.
Okay? Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
I, Lindsay Jones,
swear that I will fulfill
swear that I will fulfill
the requirement of
the requirement of
the office I'm about to assume,
the office I'm about to assume,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I'll support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will be faithful
that I'll be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the laws
and support the laws
and Constitution thereof,
and Constitution thereof,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
without fear
without fear
of favor or prejudice,
of favor or prejudice,
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
to the City of Havre de Grace
to the City of Havre de Grace
Arts Commission
Arts Commission
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So bad was it?
Okay.
As was said by a couple of my colleagues on the dais, Mrs. Jones is an Uber volunteer for the city. If you were at the parade Friday night, she was behind the scenes running the parade and the lineup. You do everything. The lighted boat parade for the Waterfront Festival. So we're very happy to have Mrs. Jones on our Arts Commission as well, and to see what you could do for that for us. So again, thank you for everything you do for us. And if I could ask you to
My
step over
pleasure.
here real quick and sign this.
All right.
All right, next up on the agenda, number 9, recognitions, letter A. At this time, I'd like to call up the 1A state champions, your Havre Grace High School girls soccer team.
Go ahead, we'll go ahead and fill in a little deeper here. Fill in a little deeper. Might want to stand back here. Come on, stand up.
Mr. Phil, I don't know where he is.
Everybody ready? All right. So we are very excited. We've been waiting a long time for this. I mean, since 1988, right? I've never met state championships before. It's my first time ever meeting state champions. So this is pretty cool. So as everyone knows, the Havre Grace High School girls varsity soccer won the state championship this year, and it's 1A conference, right? And so that was November 18th. Yeah, it was November 18th.
It happened, that's all that matters.
So, yeah. Anyway, so here we are at the first council meeting since, and so we're so happy to have everybody here today. And so, like I said, this is a really big deal. This doesn't happen very often to any town in the United States of America. That we have an honor to recognize and be so proud of our young citizens for what you did. I mean, this is history. People will be, you know how I just mentioned we haven't won a state championship since 1988? I mean, people 30 years from now will be saying, 2023. It'll be a year that everybody will be remembered. And each and every one of you will be part of that history, of that folklore, that every varsity coach, even way past Coach Leah, will say, talk about that year, 2023, that not only did you win the state championship, but you were the first soccer team from a city of Havre Grace High School to win a state championship, and the first girls team from Havre Grace High School to win a state championship, and that deserves a round of applause. I'm going to have the coaches say a couple words real quick, and but first I'm going to hand this off to the council president.
All right. I don't know, not much to say, but I'm immensely proud. I've known most of you girls for a long time. You guys see me up in the stands talking about you, or I do come out to your games when I can, but I'm just crazy proud on behalf of the council. We do want to congratulate you. It's amazing to watch a lot of you girls just grow up through all the sports you've played, and now to achieve the state championship. That's something I never saw in high school, I'll tell you that. But just super proud of you. Would like to recognize that this is the second time for Sarah Weitzel to be up here for a state championship this year. She was up here for softball as well, but you girls are phenomenal. Let's bring it back next year too. And who did we beat? We beat Perryville, right? Right? Feels pretty good, right? All right, I'll pass this off over here. Coach, I'll let you take it.
Yep, absolutely. Perryville got a Great Wolf Lodge, but we got a state championship. So, Coach Lee Contagio, could you please say a few words about the team, the season, how the season went, how the season started, how it went? I mean, I heard a slight trip out of the gate when the season started, but like all great teams, they reflect and they figure out what to shore up and how to fix it. This is definitely a story of that. But just please take your time and tell the citizens of Havre de Grace how the season went and how you saw your team develop.
Hello, I'm Leah Cottaggio, for some of you who may not know, but it's mostly our parents. First, I'll thank you guys for coming in to every game, and we had people at practice. We had way more fans at every single playoff game. So when it comes down to it, it's not just the parents, the entire community has been behind us, and I know everybody would like to say thank you, and you all moved back, so let's move back up this way. Don't leave me on my lonesome, thank you. The community has been fantastic, so once I'll say thank you to you guys for that. But I've said this multiple times to the girls. When we came in, Miss Phillips, myself, and Mr. Phil, we know they didn't want to have us. But at the end of the day, we know, we're not going to lie. You did not really want us to be your coaches, but a change had to be made somewhere down the line. And we made our changes, but at the end of the day, each and every single one of you made your own changes. And that reflected on the field, that reflects at practice, that reflects when we do our team dinners, as well as in the classroom. So every single person has really grown this entire season, and that just makes me proud to know that you guys found it within yourself to make that change. Because if Cassidy doesn't believe, or Emily doesn't believe, or Chloe doesn't believe, then we can't be a team. At the end of the day, we have to come together, and our big thing this year was being a family. When I was here, Miss Phillips and Mr. Phil, they were my coaches. That is one thing they instilled in us, is being a family. And it doesn't just come from them, it comes from us as coaching staff, included Coach PJ, and that includes you guys as parents. If we're not all on the same page and believing in the girls, they would not be where they are today. The community believes, they believe, I believed, and I'm extremely proud of each and every one of you for fighting through adversity. You know, these injuries, these long life lessons, sometimes in practice, it went for 30 minutes of just talking about life, because at the end of the day, it prepared you for what? To win the state championship. Not just myself or the other coaches, I can tell you that in the stands and afterwards, I don't know if you guys heard, but multiple people were just so extremely proud of, we were fighting through so many injuries that game. There were 4 girls I know that could have easily came off, but you guys had so much drive within you to want to beat Perryville, because we needed to set it straight. We're better, right? At the end of the day. So I'm proud, because at the beginning of the season, it was a little rocky. If there was a little, I got a something to my shin, or the ball hit my, my shoulder or side of my face, we would come out. Oh, I can't do it, I'm too hurt. But at the end of the day, at 4 months down the road, and during that championship, nobody, even you came out for 2 minutes, you came back in. And that speaks volumes to who you are and how you guys grew. So thank you for letting me coach you this year. And it was a privilege, and it was a privilege to coach with Mr. Phil and Miss Phillips as well. So I'm going to pass it on to Miss Phillips and then to Mr. Phil.
Yeah, sure. To add to that, this group of girls truly are amazing. There's so much talent here. It's unbelievable. And I don't think you guys realize how much talent that you did bring, that developed, and you put together the chemistry we needed. And it wasn't always easy, because we had some really difficult practices at times, and we had high expectations for you. But you stepped up to that, and you challenged yourself, and it wasn't always easy, and you weren't always thrilled about it. But ultimately, you guys rocked, and you believed, and we believe in you, and you have to continue to believe in yourself. Some of you are leaving, you're moving on to college, and we support you, and we hope for the best for you, and we can't wait to see what you're doing. 2 out of 4 so far are committed to playing college. Kendall's playing at USC Beaufort, correct? And Cassidy is going to Kutztown University. And so 2 out of 4 at this point are fully committed to play and carry on the tradition of soccer and the love of the sport. But truly, like, for everyone returning, and those of you moving on, continue to believe in yourselves, because a lot of it's here. We prepare you, we guide you, but you have to believe in yourself to achieve anything. And you guys are phenomenal. And we had the best season for so many reasons. And we'll continue to celebrate. And we look forward to next year, and we look forward to hearing all the great things about those of you moving on to college. But this will be a year that we'll never forget for so many reasons. Winning the state title is just still unbelievable. I wake up and think they did it. They did it. You did this. It's unbelievable. Little old Havre Grace made it big, big time. And to see, for those of you that have been around a while, you know, like the big schools in the Bel Air area, what a challenge that has always been for us. And will continue to be, but again, we believed. And when we beat Patterson Mill in the region, to continue through to get to the state, that was just a win in itself, because that has never been done either since Patterson Mill became a school. And a lot of those schools make assumptions about us, and we showed them what we're capable of. And again, that's because you believed, and you have all the talent in the world. But when you put it together and you believe in yourselves, you guys are amazing. So I look forward to next year. It's been a blast coaching with Leah, who still won't call me by my first name, Tara. I'm still Miss Phillips. She just can't do it. And Mr. Phil. So it's really been a breath of fresh air for me, as I've been in the community for a while, and to step back into coaching and have the opportunity to work with a former student and a former coworker and colleague, and work with this great bunch of young ladies. Like, it's just amazing. So I thank you all, and I thank our parents. You guys rock, from decorating buses to showing up to every game, to hearing you on the sideline, to reaching out in emails like constantly, what do you guys need? What do you need? Like, we have so much support. And that says so much, and that's part of the reason why your girls are the wonderful young ladies they are. So we thank you, and we'll be celebrating again on Wednesday night at McGregor's for our banquet. And we plan to do things together occasionally when we can in the off-season. You guys are all very busy, but I think it's important that we stay connected, because we are a Warrior family, and that includes everyone in the community as well. So thank you, Mr. Phil, you're on. I'll stop talking.
Thank you, Coach. There's not much I can add to that, although those of you that know me know that I could speak forever. When given a microphone, Brother Johnny back there can attest to that. No, I could spend hours up here and talk about each and every one of these players, and it's all good. But as Coach said, we started off a little rough, and then they were whipped into shape and became champions. Ken Griffey Jr. said something about we can all be great players, but to pull those players together as a team is what makes champions. So I'm going to speak about one of our former players. As a parent, you know, what you can ask out of life is that your children do well. As a coach, what you ask of your players and team is that they do well, they prosper, they go on and do great things. To come back this year and see a former player take this team and take it to the next level is what I'm the most proud of. Leah brought the next level to this team and to our coaching staff. Tara and I started coaching in 1999, so we've been together for a long time. We worked well together. We had a great system, and we never really made that championship run. We were close. Numerous times we were close. Right. So I do want to tout our coach, our new coach, Leah, who brought us to the next level. And what more can a coach ask for is to see a player come back and take a former team and turn them into champions. And who? Please don't faint. Who's fainting? Is she laughing or crying? Anyhow, that's all I'm going to say. These girls work very, very hard to reach the accomplishment that they have made, and we're very proud of them. And as Coach Tara said, the parents offered so much support. that we're very, very fortunate to be able to do this. And I picked a great time to come out of retirement. That's all I can say. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I'll cut it off.
So, I feel because you've all earned this, does any one of you have a few words you want to say?
Thank you guys so much. Sorry about that. Celie was making me laugh. She's been making me laugh this whole time. I was trying to hold it together, but I lost it a little bit. Thank you guys so much for a wonderful season. Could not have done it without the brains. So, yeah. This guy. So yeah, and I want to thank the parents so much for just all of the support and just being there, and the whole city for just supporting us. It means the world. We could not have done it without the support of the community. Thank you.
Well said. Well said.
If anybody here is, well, most of you were there, but if anyone in here serves for like our local fire houses, the escorts that we had on the way out of here, is that Mr. Granger back there? Who's that? Mr. Granger and his whole crew, and our wonderful bus driver, Mr. Nordell. Mr. Nordell, he's amazing. He is our all-time forever bus driver. We had an amazing group of community and family out there to see us off for our state final championship game at Loyola. And we had the fire engines. Not only, you probably saw them pulling out of Havre Grace, but all the way down 95 as far as like the Aberdeen exit. And for the first time ever, I clearly did say this to the girls, this is the one and only time you're allowed to hang your arms out the window, because any other time we will like get written up and it will be horrible. But we were literally, you got like videoing them going down the highway, following all the fire trucks with the sirens, and they had all the truckers doing the horns. It was insane. And so we had a blast, truly, on the bus, didn't we? It was like off the hook. We didn't expect it to be like that. And then they escorted us back into town celebrating our championship. So again, we can't thank you enough, and if we've left someone out, I feel terrible about that, but the support's been unbelievable.
Also, thank you to the, oh my goodness, Abbey Burger and Vintage Cafe, because they did donate breakfast items as well as the parents, because like we said, we tried to get you guys to stop donating, and then the community poured in, and then you were able to let it go and let them take over.
We love to eat as a team, in case you haven't figured that out. Food is good. Thank you.
Hey guys, my name's Caitlin. I'm the best manager. I just want to say that. I just want to say I'm very proud of everybody that they got this far this season. Don't look at me, Cass. That they got this far this season. I'm really proud. I do want to congratulate everybody, but I mean, I did help along the way with that victory. I was the biggest support system, so yeah, I did the stats, guys. But I just want to say I'm really proud, and thank you for all allowing me. Thank you for all allowing me to be with you guys this year. And I'll come back next year, don't worry. Oh, also, I want to say thank you to everybody who brought food. It was very good. But that's it. I want to say thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. Good job, Caitlin. So, very shortly, I have a presentation, something I want to give each and every one of you. But I heard the term injuries. There were some injuries, and I want to share with you 1 minute one of my favorite stories. I always tell sports teams and players, and I hope this resonates with you. There's a sport called hockey, and there used to be a awesome. All right, hockey player. So. There's a great man by the name of Wayne Gretzky. And real briefly, in the late 1970s, the New York Islanders were a dynasty. They won 4 straight Stanley Cups, and they were a dynasty. They were like the New England Patriots of their time period. And nobody thought that anybody could beat them. And then out of nowhere, an expansion team named Edmonton played them in the 1980 Stanley Cup final. Now, Edmonton was full of teenagers. Jari Kurri, Esa Tikkanen, Grant Fuhrer. You had this guy, Wayne Gretzky, who was 18 years old. And all these young kids were playing these veteran, seasoned hockey players on New York Islanders. And the New York Islanders destroyed them 4-0. And they won the Stanley Cup. And Wayne Gretzky tells a great story. He says, I was in the locker room after we lost the game. Game 4, we lost. New York Islanders won the Stanley Cup. And if you know anything, everybody walks around, he holds the Stanley Cup up, and they cheer each other. Wayne Gretzky said, I was in the New York Coliseum. I wanted to be the last one to leave the locker room because I didn't want to walk past the hallway. Down the hallway was the Islanders' locker room. He said, I didn't want to hear them celebrating because I was so upset. And so he waited until he's the last one to leave the stadium. And he walked down the hallway by himself. And there was no noise coming from the locker room, so he figured they all left. And he says, I took my stick and I pushed the door open, and everyone from New York Islanders was in there. They weren't drinking champagne. They weren't celebrating. Guys were getting their chin stitched up, their elbows in a sling. They were getting their legs repaired, their teeth put back in, because Wayne Gretzky learned a lesson. He said, I felt great. My teammates felt great. In fact, my teammates felt so great, he said, we all complained and blamed each other for losing. The Islanders knew what it took to win a championship, and they played through their injuries. And they didn't blame anybody, and they took responsibility for it. When I heard the stories of your injuries and how you played through them, I'm thinking to myself, every one of you learned one of the greatest lessons of life, and you learned it so young. You should be really proud. It's not just always about a sport. It's about yourself inside. And you achieved that at a young age, and some people never even learned that lesson. And you learned it at a young age, and I'm very proud of you for that. And we're going to see you here next year, because I know a lot of you still are going to be in Havre de Grace next year. So, Council President, thank you. What I'm going to present you and your coaches is a challenge coin from the city of Havre de Grace. I give these out very sparingly. They're made for people in Havre de Grace that do great things, and I think this qualifies as great things. On the front is the city seal. On the back of the coin is a man firing a cannon at a warship, and the warship has a British flag on it, within a Latin inscription, Que audi adipicatur. Que audi adipicatur means who dares wins. It's one of my favorite mottos in life. Who dares wins. And I'll be so proud to give it to you. But the way I have to give it to you is you have to hold your hand out and shake my hand, and I'll put it in your hand. That's how we give challenge coins out. Council President.
gotta say it in the accent, though. Yeah, that was really cool. Ready? Okay, do it. Tilt your tails. I'll turn around. Is what Sealy did. Ready?
I was showing.
Quick pick. Licking it up.
What? I'm not looking it up.
I did love her.
And one last thing, I forgot to give you a recognition proclamation that's signed by myself and all the council members for your achievement. And I forgot to tell you the best part of the story. The Edmonton Oilers won the next 5 Stanley Cups. All right. Thank you so much. Go home and get ready for school tomorrow. All right. Have a great Christmas, everybody. Good holiday. Thank you. Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody.
We'll continue in just a moment. I got the door. All right, next up on the list, with number 10, proclamations, we have none. Number 11, presentations, we have the lighting of the menorah with Rabbi Mika Simmerly.
Bye.
So we have, wow, it's all of a sudden empty here. Female coach, girl champions, female rabbi. What is this world coming to, my friends? Oh, my goodness.
Getting better all the time, right?
It does.
Thank you.
It does. So, actually, I don't need the microphone.
Okay, no problem. This can pick up your voice too.
Yes, I'm gonna light this one. This one is called the shamash, and what we do is we light it, and we light all the other candles with it, and I'd love for you to do that. I'll do a very, very short reading here.
Go ahead and do it.
As we light these candles for Hanukkah, may all our sisters and brothers hold on to faith, in spite of the pain and suffering that they are facing. God, we ask that you lead us out of darkness and lead us onto light of hope and peace. And I'm going to recite a little bit in Hebrew with English translation. Baruch atah Adonai, bless you, God of all. Eloheinu melech haolam, God of all that lives. Asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, you brought us together for the season. V'tzivanu, and you blessed us. Lehadlik ner, to light these lights. Shel Chanukah, for Chanukah. Professional candle lighter right here.
Rabbi Mika, thank you again for joining us. We did this last year together around this time, and it meant a lot to the citizens. It meant a lot to myself and the council members. We wish you all the best. Godspeed. I know you're heading to
Israel.
Israel. I don't know if I can say. Yeah, I know you're heading to Israel soon to help your fellow country people and the members of your faith. And we wish you a safe return, and we can't wait to see you when you get back. So, anything else you wish to say?
I just want to thank you. It means so much to be here, and it means so much to be invited by you, Mayor. And I am just really grateful for everyone who's present here. And may we all get to enjoy light and hope.
Thank you. Okay, council, we're going to go to item 12, resolutions. This evening, we have one resolution on the agenda. And I want to hand that off to Councilmember Boyer.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, I make a motion to introduce a resolution concerning the adopting of the transportation priorities and policy positions.
Second?
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Boyer, seconded by Councilmember Schnagus. This is a motion to introduce a calendar resolution. Questions or comments on the introduction? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce a calendar resolution concerning adopting transportation priorities and policy positions carries 6-0 in the affirmative. Council, this will be Resolution 2023-22. A resolution by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, pursuant to the local government article of the annotated Code of Maryland and sections 33 and 34 of the city charter to adopt transportation priorities and policy positions. Council, do I have a motion to adopt calendar resolution 2023-22?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Boyer, seconded by Council President. Questions or comments? Councilmember Boyer?
Council, every year, we've been adopting this resolution, and what it does is it kind of supports the list of transportation priorities that the county has submitted, and in the great mathematics of the world, somehow it makes it so that our priorities get raised up. Our intersection at Route 40 and Ostego has been on the list for many years. It remains on the list, and hopefully we've created enough support and visibility on the issue that we should be able to see a little bit of movement on it this year. In addition, this year we have added I think it's another item, which would be item number 4, which states to advocate for the placement of the electronic tolling stations in areas that will reduce toll avoidance. So that has been added to our letter from previous years. But I hope you all support it again this year, and hopefully we can see some resolution or at least movement in the right direction to try to solve the problem at Route 40 and at Sego. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Boyer. Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Boger?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I just want to commend, if I could, Councilmember Boyer. You've worked really hard on this, and I'm happy to see this resolution on the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Boger. Any other questions or comments? Council, we're going to do a roll call vote on counter resolution 2023-22. Councilmember Boger? Yes. Council President?
Yes.
Councilmember Robertson?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
Councilmember Shenegis?
Yes.
By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative, counter resolution 2023-22 is adopted by council. Thank you. We'll go to item 13, which is ordinances. Tonight we have 3 ordinances on the agenda. They're all second reading ordinances. And item A is going to be ordinance 1127, and that's Council President Ringsacher.
Mr. Mayor, Council, citizens all, I move to introduce ordinance 1127 concerning accepting a deed for Bloomsbury Avenue for second reading and adoption.
Second?
Council, I have a motion by the Council President, seconded by Councilmember Shenegis. This is a motion to introduce ordinance 1122 on second reading. Questions or comments on the introduction? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce ordinance 1127 carries 6-0 in the affirmative. This is an ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the annotated Code of Maryland, and sections 33, 34, and 73 of the Havre de Grace City Charter for the purpose of accepting a deed for Bloomsbury Avenue parcel tax ID number 06-020127 for a public purpose. Council, I have a motion. Do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1127 on second reading?
So moved.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Boger, seconded by the Council President. Questions or comments? Council President?
This is just accepting a deed that for purchase of property to help us mitigate some of the Lily Run flooding over behind the elementary school.
Thank you very much, Council President. Any other questions or comments? Council will do a roll call vote on ordinance 1127. Councilmember Shenanigans.
Yes.
Councilmember Booger. Council President.
Yes.
Councilmember Robertson.
Yes.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer.
Yes.
By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative, ordinance 1127 is adopted and approved on second reading. Item B, Council President.
Mr. Mayor, council, citizens, I move to introduce ordinance number 1129 concerning approving a memorandum of understanding and agreement with Harford County regarding access to the Robin Hood Road Master Water Meter Vault for second reading and adoption.
Council, I have a motion by the Council President. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Booker. This is a motion to introduce ordinance 1129 on second reading. Questions or comments on the introduction? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce ordinance 1129 on second reading carries 6-0 in the affirmative. This is an ordinance that the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the annotated code of Maryland in sections 33 and 34 of the Havre de Grace City Charter, for the purpose of approving the memorandum of understanding and agreement with Hartford County regarding access to the Robin Hood Road Master Water Meter Vault. Council, do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1129 on second reading?
So moved.
I have a motion by the Council President, seconded by Councilmember Booker. Questions or comments? Council President?
This is one of the last physical pieces of the puzzle that we need to start pumping water to Aberdeen. It's a water vault containing a meter and valves and stuff on Robin Hood Road for us to connect our water lines into and Aberdeen to connect theirs into, so we can start selling water to Aberdeen and start paying off this the money we borrowed for it. So I just ask that it does get passed, and hopefully we can get this moving on down.
Thank you very much, sir. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote on ordinance 1129. Councilmember Boyer.
Yes.
Councilmember Shenanigans.
Yes.
Councilmember Booker. Yes. Council President.
Yes.
Councilmember Robertson.
Yes.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative, City Council Ordinance 1129 is adopted and approved on second reading. Item C, Ordinance 1130, Councilmember Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, fellow council members, I move to introduce on second reading ordinance number 1130 concerning Budget Amendment 2024-05.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Robertson, second by Councilmember Jones. This is a motion to introduce Ordinance 1130 on second reading. Questions or comments on the introduction? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce Ordinance 1130 on second reading. It carries 6-0 in the affirmative. This is an ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, by the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the annotated code of Maryland, and sections 37 of the Havre de Grace City Charter, for the purpose of amending the city budget for fiscal year 2024 to address reallocations of funds for the city of Havre de Grace for fiscal year 2024. Council, I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1130 on second reading.
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Robertson, second by the Council President. Questions or comments? We're going to do a roll call vote, Council, on ordinance 1130. Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
Councilmember Shenanigans?
Yes.
Councilmember Booker? Yes. Council President?
Yes.
And Councilmember Robertson?
Yes.
By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative, ordinance number 1130 concerning approving Budget Amendment 2024-5 to fund the Route 155 water line, bridge inspection, and wastewater treatment plant grit tank is approved. 6-0 in the affirmative. We're going to go to item number 15, new business, and I'll hand off to Councilmember Boyer.
Mayor and council, So you all have packets in front of you that talks about the Safe Streets and Roads for All and the action plan components. We have, in previous sessions, put money forward as part of our grant application in combination with the City of Bel Air and the City of Aberdeen to enter into an agreement for this grant to evaluate opportunities for pedestrian and bike paths through our town as well as the other towns. Bel Air is taking the lead on this action, and as part of our agreement, we need to ratify their selection of the consultant for the project. So Bel Air has gone through the process, and I believe we had people on the selection committee too, right, Tim?
It was the respective planning directors of Bel Air, Aberdeen, and me.
And they've selected a company called EXP, which is a full-service engineering and consulting service. They have offices in DC, Towson, and Richmond, Virginia. They work with local and state agencies on municipal projects like this. So they were selected, and the next step of the process for us is for us to approve the consultant for the SS4A grant. So before I make a motion, I just want to ask if anybody has any questions about the process or where we are and what our next steps are.
So is this part of that IIJA grant that we received a few months ago?
No, I'm not familiar with that grant.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know there's a lot of grants going on. So this is my understanding, this is the first round of this Safe Street for All action plan program. So these action plans are put together usually for larger places. So like Bel Air couldn't have gotten it alone. So the 3 municipalities in Harford County teamed up to get this action plan grant. Basically, they'll put together an action plan for each of the 3 communities, and then we can seek Safe Streets for All implementation funds down the road. So basically, this recognizes certain potential problem areas in the city, and then opens us up for program funds later.
I gotcha. So we haven't received any funding for this yet.
We have received the funding. We won the award. I'd have to look to see what the amount is. Overall, the 3 municipalities have to put in $35,000. Split into 3 ways, it's about $11,000 for us, and then we can spend $3,500 in kind funds. So the city's contribution would be about $8,200.
Got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
And what will come out of this will be an action plan, recommendations for us on what we need to do in order to create pathways for pedestrians and bicyclists through the town. It is the first in a series of steps to make our streets more pedestrian and bike-friendly. Okay, so with that, I move that we, the City of Havre, approve the consultant for the SS4A grant, which is EXP.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Boyer, seconded by Councilmember Shenegis. Questions or comments? Councilmember Boger?
So what we're actually doing is voting for a quarter of the lion's share of the 35K. Is that accurate?
We are voting to approve EXP as the consultant for the project.
All right, and at what price? I mean, is there?
You just said it would be about 8,500 after the
Yeah,
in-kind contribution.
It's like 35 divided by 4, is that what I'm?
Yeah, no, it'd be divided by 3, so it's $8,166.67 would be our share. So the federal government has provided $140,000, and then our share would be 35. The 3 municipalities share would be 35,000. So split 3 ways, and we can take $3,500 and put that towards in-kind. So the planning department will be taking care of a lot of the public notice, public participation, all that sort of stuff. So we'll pitch in with some elbow grease.
All right, yeah, I see it on the bottom of page 2 now. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, appreciate it.
Sure, no problem. Any other questions or comments, council? Okay, council, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Approval of the consultant for the SS4A grant is approved, 6-0 in the affirmative. Thank you, Councilmember Boyer.
Thank you.
We're going to go to item 16, reports from the directors. And we're going to start off with the Director of Administration, Mr. Gamatoya.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just 2 quick items, and then that's all I have for this evening. One is that the several of the constituents have called into City Hall wanting to know if they can rake their leaves into the gutter and the city can pick them up. And I just wanted to reiterate that's not the case, that you have to bag your own leaves, and you have to bag them in a paper bag, not a traditional black plastic bag. Our sweeper will clean the gutters of the leaves that sort of migrate to the gutters, but they're not to be blown into the street. The sweeper is just not designed for that. It clogs it up and creates an issue with it mechanically. The other piece, I'm happy to announce, I spoke with Council Member Boyer and also Council President. The pole in question up at the Waffle House is being addressed. We had a meeting, a virtual meeting with BGE and State Highways, and there's a plan that's in place, probably won't occur till the end of the first quarter of the new year, sometime in the spring. But they're going to relocate the pole. They have to put what they call a dead man pole on the other side of the street near the playground or the daycare, and then we may be responsible for replacement of some sidewalk. But we're working that out with SHA. We're not really sure who owns the sidewalk at this point. We think it's their right of way. They may think it's ours, so we'll likely have to split some of the costs with that. So it's underway. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gamatoya. Any questions for Mr. Gamatoya? Okay. We're going to go to Mr. Boursier, the Director of Planning. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for voting for EXP for the Safe Street for All action plan. It's a little bit funny of a project to coordinate with the 3 different municipalities and all the administration that's required. So this is another step forward. Again, there was a long procurement process where we looked at all the different firms. We held interviews. It was a long process, so thank you for trusting us with that process and voting in EXP this evening. The only other thing I have for this evening are November's permits. We had 1 new construction permit and 8 renovation addition permits. It's a bit light from what we've had recently, but as I looked at past years, it's pretty much on par. It sort of slows down this time of year. So that's it, unless anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Tim. Any questions for Mr. Boursier? All right, thank you, sir. And we're going to go to Ms. Bridget Johnson, Director of Economic Development and Tourism. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and citizens at home. A quick report from me as well. Last week on November 30th, we received the first half of our MHAA grant. This is the grant award for the construction of the new restrooms at the Visitor Center. So we had a wire transfer from the state for $45,000 to get started. And once that project is complete, we will receive the second half of that grant, which is an additional $45,000. And if you remember, thank you very kindly, the city is matching that grant for a total of $90,000. Well, the actual total will be $180,000. So thank you, George. You have that information. We will be ready to bid that project out probably within the next 2 weeks. Construction starting at the end of January. This will require the current visitor center to move to 203 North Washington Street, the old Amanda's Flourish shop. So I believe we'll start doing that probably after the new year. And we look forward to the renovations that are going to be made at the Visitor Center. Additionally, the footbridge to connect our portion of the Swan Harbor Trail to Swan Harbor through our industrial park. That project has made it through the procurement process. We have chosen a vendor, and we are just waiting for the EDA to approve the vendor that we have chosen. Last but not least, I really wanted to thank the tourism team for the work that was done over the past 2 to 3 weeks and this weekend for the parade. First, I wanted to say again, on Friday, December 8th from 6 to 8 p.m. is Holly Jolly festivities, as well as Saturday, December 16th from 5 to 7 p.m. Our carriage rides are sold out, but there are plenty of other festivities such as live entertainment, cookies, hot chocolate, princess story time, face painting, character artists, balloon artists. All of this information is available on Explorer Havre Grace. So I just wanted to put that information out there again for the citizens to please visit the city of Havre Grace during the month of December, but particularly on our Holly Jolly days. Also, we saw Miss Lindsay Jones here this evening. I cannot brag enough about her as the Uber volunteer for the city of Havre Grace. She, along with Lori Orzowitz and Pam Sickenberger, really took on the bulk of planning the parade. The new location starting on Water Street was a great location. It was the first time. She just told me where to go and what to do. They really had it down to a science, even with the inclement weather. So just another big shout out to her. She really is just a great volunteer. And also to the Winter Wonderland Committee, Mr. Jay McFadden and Fred Willis for decorating, organizing, and staffing Santaland. Paul and Amy White, along with their elves, decorated Santa's sleigh. The businesses, nonprofits, parade participants was great. We were at the same numbers that we were at last year. We only had 3 floats, I think, cancel due to the weather. And also, again, Lindsay Jones and Debbie Schoberling, the parade captains. So a thank you to them. And as always, a thank you to Lori Orzowitz and Pam Sickenberger in the tourism office. So that's all I have tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Ms. Johnson. Any questions for the Director of Economic Development? Ms. Johnson, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I agree, your staff in tourism have had a pretty strong last few weeks, so thank you. Good evening, Mr. Doherty, Director of Finance.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, citizens, both here and at home. First, thank you for the passage of Ordinance 1130. We can now move forward with that critical piece of infrastructure up 155, and thank you again. The condition of the 3 major funds. Since my last report, we've collected just over $175,000 in general fund revenues, and we have spent a little over $850,000. And so the fund balance has dropped about $675,000 to just under 7.4 million. That is the normal path for the general fund because, as everybody knows, when they get their property tax bills on July 1, the first day of the year, that's where most of the revenue comes, and then we spend it the rest of the year to put it to good use. The water and sewer fund, we have collected, we have earned another $635,000 in revenue since my last report. We've spent about a little over half that, $320,000, and so the fund balance has increased about $315,000 to just under $5 million. The fund is doing strong and doing very well. Most of that fund balance is earmarked for capital projects, as you all know from the budget submission, so it'll be put to good use. The Marina Fund, since my last report, we've earned a little over $100,000 in revenues, mostly through ramp and gas sales. We have spent just under $25,000 since my last report. So the fund has increased almost $80,000 to a little over $600,000 and is going, again, very, very well for this early in the season. And those are the updates on the 3 major funds this evening, and I would certainly entertain any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Doherty. Any questions for Director of Finance? George, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And that brings us to Mr. Tim Whitty, DPW Director Emeritus.
Thank you.
How you doing, sir?
Good, real good, thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just one thing this evening, I also like to thank the council for approving 11:30, and just to give you an update, the 155 Waterline, basically we've selected a contractor, and right now we're going through the contractual process with their bonding and finalizing the contract. The question will be starting right now with the weather, winter weather. It's going to restrict us going up 155 in the state right away. So we're probably going to, depending on, you know, the timing and when we actually get the project started, we may be starting into the city and working our way through Warren Street to Juniata, and then working it. And once the spring hits and the restrictions are lifted, starting construction up to 155. Just to touch on something else too, is we're working, the city Department of Public Works is finalizing a model study that reflects the impacts on the development and the infrastructure that will be required to address the construction of the residential areas and green development of the green property, the Ionella property, the hospital property, as well as some developed subdivisions on the Route 40, Lambden. And so once we get the actual study done and the phasing of what's the triggers that are going to require the infrastructure, the department will be coming in and working on a sort of a recoupment plan as to how the city's going to recoup the funds for the construction of these projects. That's it. Yes, if I have any, sure.
So I have a question about that. So the infrastructure, is the infrastructure solely looking at water and sewer, or also traffic in consideration there as well?
Well, traffic is considered. All subdivisions have to do a traffic study, and based on that traffic study, those improvements are made to the intersections, and that's completely at the cost of the developer.
So, but in this case, would we be doing the traffic study and
We
then?
do not do the traffic studies. The developer is required to, at the site plan and preliminary plan process, they have to turn in a traffic study. We actually use the county to review the traffic study using their comments, and based on the comments, the corrections, then they're allocated intersection improvements that they'll need to make. What I'm referring to is just the distribution system, the water and sewer distribution system, and how the developers are going to have to pay. Some projects, like the 155 water line, there's a 50%. We believe there's a shared cost in that, and we'll be working on that, as well as costs associated with actual infrastructure that's going to be the responsibility of the developer, and how they, you know, whether there's some kind of recoupment fees. You know, we have to figure all that out and put that forth for the future developments that are now coming online.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Whitty? Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we're going to take us to Captain Joe Alton. How's the police department doing?
Things are good, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, members of council, for this evening. Just real quick, brief report from us this evening. My comments are not anything new, but again, around the holiday times, we like to take this opportunity with some brief, really simple reminders in regards to this is also the same time of year. As much as we want to be happy and spread cheer, criminals are also looking to prey upon us and take advantage of us. Some simple, again, reminders. Please do not leave packages, items of value, those kinds of things in plain view in unattended vehicles. Unfortunately, this is an opportunity for individuals to quickly smash and grab and then take your gifts, those kinds of things, and quickly depart with them. Again, just simply be aware of your surroundings. Try to have a plan when you go out before heading out. And then lastly, again, simple, if you see something that clearly doesn't seem right to you, chances are it probably doesn't. It is always better. Please, we'd much rather have you give us a call so that we can proactively address something rather than take a call and unfortunately assist you with being a victim of a crime. And so that is it for this evening, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Captain. Any questions for Captain Alton? Thank you, sir. We'll go to item 17, business from the mayor's office. just want to thank, once again, the Havre Grace girls soccer team for being here this evening, gracing us with their presence. I know it's a school night and they have all stuff to do, but like I said earlier, I don't think I've ever met a state championship before, so that was pretty cool. So we're really proud of the team. We're proud of their coaches, and I think it's very emblematic of the character of our city for a team that turned around in such a great way in 1 year. And so, very proud of them. Very, very proud, and tonight was a great night. Also want to thank my friend Rabbi Mika Simmerly for coming here this evening to give the invocation and to join us in lighting the menorah for this evening's council meeting. And with that said, I want to thank everybody for coming out Friday night in the rain for the parade. So it was the bane of our existence last week, watching the weather 5 times a day, Monday through Thursday. And we kept watching the rain come, and wouldn't you know it, the rain was supposed to come between 3 and 7. So it stopped at 6:30 right when the parade started. So I see that as a positive sign that God loves us, and He wants the city to do well. And anyway, but it was great. A lot of families and kids out. We were able to light the tree and just usher the holiday season for the city. So I really want to thank Department of Public Works, because they have become, by default, Santa's little elves. I mean, I was driving around town this morning. I saw them, disassembling the stage. I mean, so they probably, when these men and women applied years ago to be part of the Department of Public Works, they probably never realized they'd be putting up so many Christmas lights and garlands and things like that. But anyway, it's a good town, good staff. DPW is great. Police Department, thank you so much for you guys being out there in that weather Friday night and directing traffic from the Havre Grace Police Department. Thank my staff, Tourism Department, Lori Orzowicz and Pam and Jeff Thompson and everybody. So again, despite the adverse weather, we still had an extremely nice evening. And families seem to be very happy. And again, we have holly jolly stuff going on next Friday and Saturday, and then the following Saturday after that on the 16th. So there's all kind of shopping and food and things to do with your family. And I know that there's also, and I'd like either Councilmember Boker or Robertson to touch upon this, but I know there's a wreath laying. Angel Hill is the 16th, I believe.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it has to be the 16th.
Yeah, the main ceremony is actually changed to Mount Aaron that day.
Sure. I mean, so under your comments, if you wouldn't mind telling the public.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. So love to see, because I don't think we won't have a council meeting between then, so we'd love to see people come up. So if that said, I just wish everybody to have a great couple weeks here in the holiday month of December. Just whatever your traditions are, whether you like to shop or just watch football games, whatever, just, be safe, be happy, spend time with your loved ones. We'll see you back here at the December 18th council meeting. And with that said, we're going to go to Councilmember Robertson. You're up next.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of quick things. I also want to echo all the accolades for Director Johnson, your planning, Economic Development and Tourism Department. I was looking at Tim when I said planning. L'Oreal knocked it out of the park. You knocked it out of the park, getting everything together. I know that that's a heavy lift, in the planning and preparation. And please let the officers know that we very much appreciate them out there in the dark, in the cold, and in the freezing rain, directing traffic and making sure everybody was safe, all the pedestrians and everything. And also DPW for getting it done, the setup, the breakdown. And Jeff Thompson, if you're listening, you and Jay do an invaluable service for the city, emceeing all of our events, so thank you for that. As the mayor indicated, Saturday, December 16th, will be the Wreaths Across America ceremony and laying, and that will be Mount Aaron. I have 10 a.m. On my schedule. I might interrupt you if I get anything different, but it's a little hectic this year. The person that typically drives that train is no longer driving that train. So December 16th, pay attention to the American Legion's Facebook and website for more details.
Thank you, Councilmember Robertson. Good evening, Councilmember Boger.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Those of you who are still remaining with us in the audience and the citizens out there watching us live or can view us later on. I just want to announce the December the 1st and the 2nd, we had the Jolly Holly, the Holiday Tree Jubilee, right? Now, the Tree Jubilee, actually, all the proceeds celebrate the Fourth Foundation, and we actually did a very good job with the trees, the bidding and moving, and actually, some of them were actually delivered, right? So we certainly appreciate the citizen support. So when you see July 6th, when those fireworks go up, a lot of those proceeds are actually from some of these sales, right? We had about 48 trees, all decorated, and about 6 wreaths. Trees were incredibly decorated. They adorned with multiple items to include lotto scratch cards and little bottles of liquor, to the Mumbles twinning had some dragons on them. Just to let your imagination just kind of go wild. So that was a fantastic event. I want to thank the Independence Day Commission that I'm on, and all the members who are part of that. So, secondly, I was joined by Councilperson Cassie Boyer, as well as the senior aide to the mayor, Mr. Adam Rubinski, sitting across from me. We actually did assisted the ribbon cutting for the Blenheim Run. The village of Blenheim Run is an amazing development. They have a total of 51 apartments with either 1 or up to 3 bedrooms. So we really like to tour the affordable housing. The developer did announce that they were planning on working with the city to build another complex right beside that. I don't want to steal all the thunder from Cassie, but we did take a brief tour of the affordable housing complexes, and we were shocked by the quality and the craftsmanship that they actually. They really put a lot of time and effort into it. So I'm really proud. I'm also really proud of the water and sewer connections. So being on the Water and Sewer Commission as well. So lastly, without further ado, I want to thank the Havre Grace Police Department, as I will do every night that I'm sitting up here, the Susquehanna Hose Company, the EMT, and the first responders, and especially during the parade. That was fantastic support, just like Director Johnson had mentioned earlier. That's fantastic support, and we just can't do it alone. We are one team. So thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you so much. Council President, can I interrupt for just 1 second? Please, sir. I'm sorry. Alibi. Yeah, the Wreaths Across America is 1400. That's 2 p.m. for you civilian types at Angel Hill. So it's Angel Hill again. Change number 162. I'm updating my calendar. So December 16th, Angel Hill, 2 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Boger and Councilmember Robertson. I will come back to you in 5 minutes. Get my mic on. Sorry, Jimmy. Now I'd like to recognize Councilmember Jones.
Great, thank you, Council President. Just a few quick things for me, some events that are coming up that I want folks to be aware of. On 12/24, December 4th, there's a Kwanzaa celebration at the Havre Grace Colored School. And actually, I don't know why I said December 4th, because it's actually on December 28th. It's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. There are limited seats. It's free to the public, and there's going to be a musician there and other activities. So if you can put that on your calendar, if you'd like to attend, that's on December 28th from 11 to 3. There is also at the Star Center, Alan Harris will be performing a Nat King Cole Christmas, and that will be at 8:00 p.m. And that's on December the 9th. And then also on December the 10th, not far from Havre Grace, is the Hosanna Museum, and they are celebrating their 75th anniversary of operating the Hosanna Community House. So they're going to have an event on December 12th from 2 to 4 p.m., and the RSVP is by, it has passed, but I think you can still RSVP for that if you'd like to join. And that's it for me, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we go over to Councilmember Boyer.
Thank you, Council President. First, I want to thank Steve and everybody else for the administration for continuously working towards getting us to right in regards to Route 40 and the intersection there. It has been a long or it's going to continue to be a long journey to try to get it to a place where we can have an efficient flow of volume of traffic going through the intersection, where we can upgrade the infrastructure to allow for the correct turn radius, utility poles, and handicapped accessibility, and of course, increasing the safety, reducing the amount of near misses, and allowing for pedestrians and bikes at that intersection. Tonight, it's an annual thing that we need to do, but in order to keep this to the highest level of visibility, not only at the county level, but at the state level, we need to keep approving our transportation priorities, and it elevates the intersection throughout the state and makes it so that we have a higher level of visibility and higher probability of getting something fixed there. But the fact of the matter is, we are a small city of around 15 to 16,000 people. In order for us to keep the momentum going, we need everybody to get involved, and we need to get other municipalities, other jurisdictions. We need this to be a regional problem. Otherwise, the probability of this getting fixed is relatively low. So please, as you're discussing things with your colleagues from other regions, as you're discussing things with your family as they're coming to visit you over the holidays, and they go through that intersection and they tell you about how frightening it is, encourage them to talk to their legislators about it. The more visibility we can get on this intersection, the more people talking about it, the better probability we are to get things done. A great example is what we recently had with BG and that telephone pole. It's amazing. How long have we been talking about, hey, that telephone pole keeps getting hit? Well, as soon as BGE gets involved, now they're getting it fixed. We need more heavy hitters working on our side to get this done. And throughout this community, we have enough connected people that can get us to the momentum to finally get to a place of resolution for getting something done on that intersection. It is a problem that is spilling over into our communities. We saw it at Erie Street. We see it at Grace Manor. It will continue until we address the problems at that intersection and also get more resources put up on the hill so that we're diverting traffic from going just down to Route 40 to get to gas, to get to the grocery store or to Rite Aid and stuff like that. We need to divert the traffic going to the two different directions. So I want to thank you very much, and I want to, again, foot stomp, encouraging everyone, please think about who you know, talk it up, and let's keep this momentum going so that we can get to a resolution. January 10th is when the General Assembly will be in session. I want to give enormous kudos to L'Oreal. She pulled off the most amazing, if you looked at it from a logistics management point of view, how things flowed, it was beautiful, it was eloquent, it was wonderful. But huge kudos go to the volunteers who literally, Lori says, I need you to do this, this, and this, and they show up in the pouring rain, in the dark, and they do exactly whatever Lori says. And it's just absolutely amazing every time. And we have the same set, it seems to be the same set of volunteers time and time again that are volunteering, and we really need to let them know how much we appreciate them, because nothing happens in Havre Grace without our volunteers. And to that, we recently had a meeting with the Green Team for the Board of Directors this past week, talking about the topic was, how do we get more people involved? I reached out to Steve, he reached out to Bambi and others, and the request was for some type of event where volunteer organizations can come. We need to figure out a way to encourage people to go to it, but to let people know who are new to our community, or even people who've been here forever, how they can get involved and volunteer. So I want to thank you very much for getting that started. I think a volunteer expo is wonderful, and hopefully every organization, we all belong to multiple organizations that constantly give out the cry that, oh, we need more volunteers. And you think of our police, our auxiliary police, our fire department, ambulance corps. So again, nothing happens in Havre Grace without volunteers. and without people stepping up and making it happen. So thank you all who do, and I encourage everyone else to jump on the bandwagon and help us get stuff done. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Boyer. Good evening, Councilmember Shenegis.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Administration, citizens in the audience and at home. It has been a wonderful delight to be a part of the festivities opening up here in Havre de Grace. There's so many wonderful things going on in town, you can't miss it. And if you're not sure what to do, always go to explorehavredegrace.com. That is the place to find it. Of course, things are mentioned on Facebook, but if you go there, you're sure to get the events and know what times and how much tickets cost, etc. Businesses that are having events for children, for adults, and people of all ages during the holiday season. I had the opportunity to attend a wonderful concert, Wizards of Winter, at the Star Center. It was amazing how this band of 11 members came together, all previously involved in major bands, and they brought together their talents to bring a story that told the images of winter and the images of the holiday season and what it means to them, and their stage presence was just outstanding. It was more than a tribute band. It was actually a group just presenting their heart and soul and their talents, and I commend Bambi and her team for bringing that together. I welcome them back again next year. I hope that they are able to come to Havre de Grace again and that you have a chance to see them. With many things going on, in a blink of an eye, you might forget something like the Holiday Boutique this coming Saturday at the Lock House from 9 to 12. Come on down. There's lots of wonderful handmade crafted items that you can purchase to bring home for your loved ones and to support the efforts at the Lock House Museum. And with that said, I just want to wish everybody peace and joy as we have so much going on with the change of weather and with the holiday season. I just pray that you all just have a good time, easing into the hustle and bustle and just spend time enjoying your family, take care of yourself, and I look forward to being able to be a part of this holiday season at the First Fridays, Holly Jolly Saturday as well. And we also still have the trolleys running. So, just get out there and enjoy a little bit of Havre de Grace. And thank you very much, everyone on council and administration and DPW, Police Department, for just helping out with making this a magical season here in Havre de Grace. Thank you. Back to you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councilman Shenegis. And good evening, Council President.
Mr. Mayor, council, citizens all, one guest in the audience, and our wonderful people over there. I guess Jimmy's waving in the back. I'll keep it real quick. This is an awesome time of year. I love it. High school football is winding down, but you still got some good college football on and NFL and everything. But it is hunting season for several different game animals. Did get to take my son out goose hunting a few times, and we were fortunate. And deer hunting on Youth Day, he was able to harvest an animal, and I was able to with him on opening day. Both he and I got another one, so we were very blessed. Just to pass on that tradition, and Havre de Grace. Havre de Grace wasn't always the modern city that most people think it is now. A lot of people, you look at the paintings around here. So many of them show the geese and the hunting culture and the history of Havre de Grace, and it's nice that I'm able to pass it on to my son. I'd like to recognize that yesterday was the first Sunday of Advent. Light a purple candle for hope. And tomorrow, not a lot of people celebrate this, but my kids will be putting their boots outside their door in hopes that St. Nicholas comes on Wednesday. So all you kiddies at home, if you were good, you'll get lots of candy, and if you're not, you'll get switches and coal in your boots. So I hope you were good. With that, Mr. Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you very much, Council President. And we're going to go to item 19, which is known as adjournment. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Robertson, seconded by Councilmember Shenegis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to adjourn the December 4th council meeting carries 6-0 in affirmative. We'll see everybody back here on December 18th. Good night, everybody. The time is now 8:47.